Hi everyone, thanks for the wait. So I'm Estee. Today I'll be talking about building my side project with Supabase. So to introduce myself, I'm Estee. I'm a software developer at ThoughtWorks now, and also I occasionally write technical articles. So right now I'm also part of the Supa Squad, which is like a team of advocates for Supabase. Yeah. So a brief background about how this project idea came about. So I just started working like 1 to 2 years ago, and then I got my credit card. But it's only recently like I got like a late payment notice of like $150. So it was quite a big shock to me to know that the late payment is so big. Yeah, but because it's my first time, so I could apply for a waiver, thankfully. And then my mom just told me, next time you better set a reminder for it, don't do this again. And after that, she immediately did the same thing, not credit card, but rental bills. So I'm just like, I should do something or like build something to help people like us remember to track our bills better. So I started to think about like the concept of the bill, and because of how like ThoughtWorks projects are usually, we just think of all the entities, objects, relations that could happen in the system. So these are like just some things, like the amount to pay, recipient, frequency, deadline, and then the risk, what happens if you don't pay a bill, and how to pay it. But since we are just starting like a side project, usually you don't try to implement everything, even if you can think of like a lot of things. So I created a simpler mockup for it. So this is done on Figma. Like the first screen, just see a very simple add bills, view upcoming bills, and then like the upcoming bills, you can see the bill cards. So like Singtel, you need to pay $178, and it's like telecommunications from the icon, and then you see that, oh okay, I got set reminder for this one. But the Gineco one, I didn't set a reminder, so I should probably do it. And then like the last screen is the typical add a bill or add an entity kind of form screen. So after I thought up the design for the app, I had to think about the icon design also because it's a mobile app. So these are just some random scribbles on Figma that I did like in 10 minutes. It's just like a green circle with BD letters around the circle forming like some kind of cube shape. And most people on Twitter like the middle one. So he's the winner, he's the mascot. Yeah. So if you are keen, you can scan the QR code to check out the project. It's open source. Like right now, it's released on beta track also, so all of you can go to Google Play and download it to test it if you want to. But otherwise, before I release it on beta track like 2 days ago, usually I test it with my volunteer testers. So Google Play has like 3 you can use. So there's internal, alpha, and beta. So internal, I just test it with my mom and my partner, and then like the alpha track, I got like some volunteers on Twitter to help me test also. So that way, I can get like more rapid feedback about how to improve the app. Okay, so enough. Sorry, hello. So these are some building blocks that I use for my project. So there are 3 types, front-end, back-end, and then others. So front-end, I chose React Native TypeScript because I was going to work on a work project React Native, so I chose that. And then like the UI library, I use UI Kittens, quite a cute library and quite easy to use. And then the Victory is like a common library to use for creating charts. So you can get to see that later during the demo. And Notify is the library that I use for creating notifications and managing them on your device. So all the libraries you see on this screen are open source. You can just import it, set it up, and then you can use it already. And of course for backend, I use Supabase. It's the awesome backend for frontend for me. So I will also go through like how you can use Supabase and how it's like after you set up a project for it. And for others, it's more like not part of the mobile app. So RPA Python is robotic process automation is a package. So I use it for scripting like data from the POSB website, don't tell them. And then like the GitHub action is something I use to like generate database type definitions for my project. Yeah, for those who are familiar with TypeScript. Fastlane is just a library to like help you automate your deployments to Google Play. Then this is a very simple state diagram, I guess. You just open the app and then I check whether the user is connected to the internet and also log into the account. If they are yes for both, then I'll just sync their existing cache to cloud. Otherwise, everything is cache. So this ensures like a offline first functionality. And that is one of the cool things about BD. I helped to build this app so that like most people, they just download it and then they can like use it even without being connected to internet or like even giving any information at all. This is something that I think is missing in a lot of apps because of monetization, ads and so on. So I built this app for helping people like us and also like learning purposes. So I don't want to restrict it to like the usual standards. So yeah, you don't need to create an account to enjoy most features. You can create, read, update, and delete all your bills and notifications. Analytics of expenses is also a cool feature that I got the idea from Ariana from Supabase, because she's sharing with me like how expense tracking is usually done for her app. So there's also something helpful for SG workers, which is based on the script data I had. Later I can show you. The project is open source. Yeah. So if you are interested in any like particular implementation, you can just read the code, or like if you find any bugs, can create an issue and then I'll try to fix it. Or you can even create a PR. It's fine. Okay. So app demo. I'll be using Visor to show you how the app is on my phone. Okay, can all of you see from the back? Is it big enough? Okay, yeah. Oh. Okay, so this is BD. And you can see this icon. You just click on like app bill, and then you can choose a payee, a category, as well as like the amount and reminders. So for the payee, you can see like all these billing organizations. They're directly from the Gyro list on DBS. If you want to click on them. Yeah, yeah. So they are pretty accurate for Singaporeans, but there's also like stuff like other custom pages that I inserted. But otherwise, you can like even type something like this, and then like yes, yeah. Then you can set the deadline, say August maybe. And then like add a reminder. So a reminder you can set like hours, days, months. So I referred the design from Google Calendar. So this is how they also did it relative to like the actual event date. Then you add reminder and you submit. So then you will see this card. And then you can mark it as complete, or like if you miss a bill, say and then like I can hear some laughter. Yes. So it will be like a missed bill because it's passed already, and then you can like archive it if you want to. Okay. So after you created all these bills, and because now it's local, right? You say if you log into another device, you can't see your bills already. So what you can do is like sign up an account, like say city.js.com. So this authentication is also provided by Supabase, so it's pretty fast to set it up. Yeah, so I'm logged in, and then I still have the all the bills, and also you can see the last sync date. So in a nice way is that your user can use most of the app, and then they still get the state after they log in. Yeah. So that is one thing. Now I log out, and I also purge everything just to show you on like another account. Sign in. Oh no. Oops. I'm sorry. I tested this yesterday, but it was working. But things happen. But okay, I'll show you a screenshot of it later. So that's it for the app demo. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, there's still more, It's not over, yes. Yeah, oh, okay, so I'm going to walk through like the BD's backend for frontend, like BFF. So, Supabase, and then sign in. So these are some of the projects I have, and click on BD. And then these are all the tables you can see. It's pretty nice that you have all this UI, and you can also see like authentication, all the users that are signed up. So there's a lot of test users here from my volunteers. And then like storage. And also this SQL editor is pretty nice. And click on the welcome, and they have like a lot of suggestions for the snippets that you can run. So say this create table, you can edit, and then like everything is there, you just change the name and get all tables and stuff. So even without having your own SQL program to access the database, you can just write the snippets and save it here. So something that I use is reset bill ID, because I like to delete stuff from my test database, and then it suddenly doesn't work anymore, so I just reset the ID. Yeah. And then there's also like this migration script that I created because I was converting a value from like a, I think date to date time, yeah. So this is something you can do as well. In the database column, you can click on your existing tables and then modify them. So it's pretty straightforward. You also can enable row level security. Yeah. So one especially cool thing I thought about Supabase is like this API documentation. So say like after you created a table, they'll just generate this very nice JavaScript that you can use immediately. So that's what I've been like doing most of the time. So working with Supabase takes up like 5 or 10% of my project's time only. Yeah. So for example, to set up Supabase, okay, I think the Xcode is building again. Yeah, so on my BD project, this is the exact code. So you can just create a client from the Supabase project dependency with the URL and key, which I'm not going to show you. Then the cache, for React Native, usually the common cache system is async storage, but I was trying out MMKV, not sure if you heard of it. So it's like a 400 times faster kind of cache system. So you can use any other caching also, as long as you provide like the interface methods like get, set, and remove item. This is how Supabase stores the auth token in your local cache. So yeah, this is like an interface you can use. And then like this Supabase, I just use it in most of the service, like the bill syncing and stuff. Then you can see like this code. I literally copy pasted from the API docs and it works already. Yeah. So if you are familiar with the front end and you know like what you want to do for your project idea, you just spin up Supabase. It's very fast. Okay. Then going back to the slides. Yeah, so the cool stuff is the database editor and SQL editor, as well as amazing API docs. For the less GUI people, there's also the Supabase client. You can download it and then run stuff in your terminal to get the same functions working. Yeah, so the features in BD that are powered by Supabase, I've mentioned most of these already. But for future features would be like using their storage to upload documents. Like say, after you created a bill, you want to refer to the receipt or invoice for it. So you can like upload there and then just refer it back. Then for sign without password, reset password. So they have a lot of authentication methods available. You can just use it pretty fast. And personalization. So right now, because I'm showing all the Singapore billing organizations, it's pretty long-winded. Like in future, I will let them set whether they want these options available or not, or even set their country, because not everyone is from Singapore. Yeah. So these are some GitHub repositories if you are keen. So the generate Supabase database types GitHub action, you can use it for your project as well. And the build organization scripter if you're keen on how the RPA works. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Any questions for Estee? Maybe I have one question.
Okay.
Working with Supabase, what was maybe the toughest part, or what didn't work? What can we fix?
There was a problem that I encountered, which is upserting documents. So because the way upsert works for Postgres is not similar to like other SQL DB. So like say, because I want to sync cache to like the cloud, right? I was thinking, okay, as long as the IDs are the same, I just throw my entire cache over. It should work, right? Because it's upserting. But it wasn't working because of how Postgres works. There's an issue that I can refer you guys later. It's quite complicated, yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. All right, I'll take that. Thanks so much, Estee.
Prisma is an open source ORM that allows you to easily manage and interact with your database. It all starts with your Prisma schema, a place where you define your database models and relations using Prisma schema language. You can write your schema from scratch, or generate it by introspecting an existing database. And when it's time to talk to your database, you'll use Prisma Client, an auto-generated, type-safe query builder where you think about your data, not SQL queries. And when your app needs to evolve, you'll use Prisma Migrate, which is Prisma's schema migration tool. All you need to do is update your Prisma schema, run the Prisma Migrate command, name your migration, and you're done. Seriously, that's it. Finally, there's Prisma Studio, an admin UI to view and edit the data inside your database. There's even dark mode. Prisma currently supports PostgreSQL, MySQL, SQLite, and Microsoft SQL Server, and works inside any JavaScript or TypeScript environment with all of your favorite backend technologies. Prisma allows you to be more productive and ship your apps with confidence. For more info, go to prisma.io.
I love sports. One of the reasons I joined the Zone is because I'm a huge football fan.
So I'm someone that loves to problem solve and like to provide, I guess, end users or customers the best experience.
We're really invested in microservices and micro front ends. I'd seen the pain points of monolithic projects at other companies. And I was really drawn to come and try this.
I think the culture is pretty much about relationship and trust, and that's how we thrive. This relationship between going global, but also keeping the essence of the very first day of the company, is what makes me very exciting.
What really motivates me working at the Zone is the unique tech challenges that the platform presents. We're using all serverless cloud technologies.
Each team is designed to own a specific subdomain. They get to choose what tech they use and help to prioritize what they think is most important.
Something that I've built is the image service. It was in use by all of the users across the world, literally millions of users. It was a very proud moment for me and my team.
Together with product, we came with a conclusion that it would be great for users to actually see what kind of content they will find in the Zone before actually signing up. There was like a massive increase of like sign-ups and users interacting with the Zone, so we were really happy with it.
The first project that I did when I joined the Zone was probably the one that I'm most proud of. It allows you to jump between different fixtures as key moments happen. So you might be told about a goal happening in another game, jump across to that, and then once you're done, come back. It's an exciting thing to see, something that you've been working on for months, suddenly getting hundreds of thousands of users over the space of minutes.
Hey everyone, my name is Steve. I'm the developer relations lead here in New Relic. So what do? Actually is I manage the relationship, but also I teach customers, engineers, developers how to use New Relic with your application. I also act as a bridge with our product management. If you have any feedback or ways we can help you to actually improve your instrumentation, I'll be the right person to actually reach out here in New Relic for Asia. Thank you so much for joining this session. My name is Steve, and today we have a really good topic. I remember nowadays we have so many platforms for you to actually host your application. Once you build it, you're spoiled with so many choices, including popular platforms such as AWS, GCP, and Azure. But this particular talk we're going to focus on niche platforms, which generally they are highly discussed, especially among web developers. So today, I'm going to share my thoughts and opinion on Heroku, Netlify, and Vercel right here. So first and foremost, let's start with Heroku. You probably heard about Heroku either through some form of tutorial or maybe some form of article have you read online, because Heroku has been around for a really long time. There's a reason why Heroku is widely known in the industry, because Heroku got acquired by Salesforce. So Salesforce is a really large organization, and there's a high chance your organization is using some form of services by Salesforce too. Therefore, it's quite common to see this within the industry itself. Within Heroku, what they really offer is platform